We are Lisa and Grady Hilsabeck. We are mental health ambassadors for the St. Francis Foundation.
So our journey started with Bailey, our daughter, youngest daughter, had prior 8th grade year. She was an active, go-lucky teenage kid. Everybody she met, she touched, young to old. She was a high honor roll, black belt in Taekwondo.
High achiever. She was a high
Very
athletic.
sports, coming easy, natural to her. She wanted to go on and play college ball. It was her dream. Between her 8th grade and freshman year, she came down with POTS syndrome. Just changed her whole life. She was in a wheelchair at one time. She would pass out. She'd have seizures. She would get up, walk across the floor like normal, and turn around to walk back, and she'd act like she never walked before, just like she was trying to teach herself to walk.
It was exhausting for her.
Yeah, it was just what would wear her body completely out. No medicines help her, nothing they can give her. We got counseling, went to several counselors, taught her how to deal with it, to live with it.
Coping mechanisms.
Learn how to cope with it, kind of how to hide it. It really helped a lot. Every day, people would think, oh, well, Bailey's back, to herself, but she was always joked and had a good time, laughed, but it was just a front. Inside, she wasn't that way. She would just have to fight it all day, all her symptoms, till she'd get home, and then she'd crash. We took in a niece and nephew, and the little boy, the little nephew, he had to have a heart transplant. Had a bad heart, so we spent a lot of time at Children's Mercy with him, and we was down there for a weekend, and the flu was real bad. She wanted to go with us, and I said no, because she had a terrible immune system. I said, the flu, just taking the hospital, you need to stay here. We'll probably be home next day, Sunday. So she went out with her girlfriends that weekend, spent the night with them. While we was down there in the hospital, I come home the next day and got fresh clothes for us, got a little sleep. She come in, like herself, woke me up, told me how her weekend was, laughing, just how they had a great time. So I got up, got around, was headed back to the hospital, and like I said, she wanted to go, and I said, no, you guys stay here. I said, she had horses and was a big animal lover. And I said, just make sure you do your horses tomorrow. And the next day when we was at the hospital, we got a call that she
called 911.
She called 911, told her that she was at the Hilsabeck farm, like everybody knew where the Hilsabeck farm was. She did that so they'd know where she was at, so they could get her. And so Corey could have her heart. But she didn't understand the whole process of all that. She took her life. Sign-wise, it's not like the commercials. My oldest daughter, she was there with her that morning. They did their thing, and she told her that she was going to do a chore. Never threw a flare up or nothing about it.
She was at the farm. People drove by, honked. She waved real big.
Like she always did. She had a big wave. Like when she waved to somebody, she waved it so people would see her. So she made that connection. That's just how she was. I always said it'd be the worst thing a parent could ever do. And it is. Yeah, once she was diagnosed, she just pretty much had changed her whole life. And it was just too much.
She was tired.
Wore out. Fighting it.
She left us a note. She wanted her heart to go to Corey. She wanted her room to go to Akasha. And she told us she'd always watch over us. You have a child who gets ill and then you just put that they're a teenager with immature, understanding and coping processes still. They're learning all of that. It was just too much. When we got this opportunity, we really wanted to take it because what this foundation is doing was something we felt strongly for. The opportunity to get more counseling into the schools for the kids, I really support that. I think it's needed. The opportunity to get out there so the stigma of mental health can be changed so that you can talk about it and it's not like any other illness. The other part of this foundation that I think is so important is the training to give all the influential adults that are around our children daily this information and education of things to watch for, triggers, signals. It's not like a child's going to walk up and tell you these things. They don't know themselves what's going on. So I think it's very important that the village for these kids gets this information and we all work together to protect them. I mean, today's world, they get no downtime. Social media, they're out there all the time. So it's different than when we grew up, and we need to learn how to help them. My hope for the future is that through this foundation and the information getting out there, that we help another family not go through this. So save a life.